Welcome students, welcome to another class. In this class, we are going to discuss about particle in one-dimensional box, or also it is also called particle in infinite well, right? So in this, a particle is there which is moving in a potential well or in a box. Particle is moving in a box, right? And the length of the box is L. We are taking the length of the box is L, and there the particle is moving in x direction only. Now we have to take this situation and we have to solve this situation by applying quantum mechanical methods. Means we are taking Schrodinger equation and we are solving this problem, right? So a particle in a box is a problem of quantum mechanical model in which a particle is moving from 0 to L. Means the particle is moving inside the box in x direction, right? So the solution to this problem will give the possible values. It will give two possible values. One is we are getting the wave function of the particle. One we are getting the wave function of the particle, and also another we are getting the allowed energy levels of that particle which is moving in a inside a box, right? So these two things, these two possible values we have to derive by applying Schrodinger equation. Very simple, right? So first, so now we are going to draw a potential box or a potential well. Very simple, right? So we are taking a box and the length of this box is 0 to L, right? Now we are considering a particle, right? This is the particle. Now this particle is moving to and fro between the walls. The particle is moving to and fro between the walls, right? Now the height of the box is infinity. The height of the box is infinity. And the potential energy of the particle outside the box is infinity. Height is also infinity. Height is infinity means the particle cannot escape from the box. Particle cannot escape from the box. Very simple, right? And means the particle cannot exist outside the box. The potential energy of the particle is infinity means it cannot exist outside the box. So the particle will always present inside the box only. Outside the box, the potential energy is infinity. Now, the potential energy of the particle inside the box is 0. The potential energy is inside the box is 0. So, this is the simple problem. We are taking a particle which is moving inside a box, and it is moving to and fro between the walls of the box, and the height of the box is infinity means the particle cannot escape from the box. Particle cannot exist outside the box, particle exists within the box only, and the particle moves in between 0 to L, right? So the same statement we can write represent in a mathematical way. Very simple, right? How can we write? So we can write V is 0 at x is equal to 0, 0 less than x less than L, means in between 0 to L the particle will exist, means potential energy is 0, and V is infinity at x less than or equal to 0 and x greater than or equal to L. That means particle, that means potential energy is 0 at x is equal to 0, less than 0 means less than, at 0 and less than 0 means in this region the potential energy is infinity, and also x is greater than or equal to L means at x is equal to L at this region, and also greater than L means this region the potential energy is infinity. The potential energy is infinity, right? This is the statement, right? Now we have to solve this problem by taking one-dimensional Schrodinger equation, right? So now we will consider, we know one-dimensional Schrodinger equation. Schrodinger wave equation. So what is a one-dimensional Schrodinger equation? That is, what is a one-dimensional Schrodinger equation? That is d square psi by dx square plus 8 pi square m by h square into E minus V into psi is equal to 0. This is a one-dimensional Schrodinger equation. Now we are applying this Schrodinger equation on that problem, on the problem of a particle which is moving in a box, right? So by applying this, according to that problem, the potential energy of the particle is 0. The potential energy of the particle is 0 at x is equal to 0. So we will take V is equal to 0, right? So by taking, we know that we'll modify this equation, d square psi by dx square plus 8 pi square me by h square into psi is equal to 0. So what we consider here? Here we took psi is equal to 0. V is equal to 0, right? So by taking V is equal to 0, because the potential energy is 0, since you can write like this also, since V is equal to 0 inside the box, right? So now we'll consider this part. This part means 8 pi square me by h square as a k square, right? So we'll take this equation, d square psi by dx square plus k square psi is equal to 0, right? So here what we consider, where k square is equal to, we will take this equation 1 and this equation number 2, where k square is equal to 8 pi square me by h square, right? So this we consider as an equation number 2. Now you can observe the equation number 2 is a second order differential equation. The equation number 2 is a second order differential equation. Now we have to solve this second order differential equation. By solving this differential equation, we are going to get the solution. The solution is in terms of psi. Psi is a wave function of that particle. Psi is a wave function of that particle, right? So now we will solve this equation. For that, the general solution, of equation 2 is, this is not exact solution we are writing, this is the general format of the solution, the general solution of the second order differential equation, that is psi of x is equal to a sin kx plus b cos kx. So this is a general solution. Now to derive or to get exact solution, we have to apply boundary conditions. So we will take this as equation number 3, right? Now to get the exact solution, we have to apply the boundary condition, right? So by applying boundary conditions, you can write like this in exam, by applying, very simple, by applying boundary conditions, on equation 3. So what are the boundary conditions? So the boundary conditions are, the first one, psi is 0 at x is equal to 0. That is the first boundary condition. And the second boundary condition is psi is 0 at x is equal to L. This is the second boundary condition. This means psi means wave function of that particle, or wave function of that wave, right? So the particle exists inside, within the walls, not at the walls and outside the walls also. So psi is 0 at x is equal to 0 and psi is 0 at x is equal to L. So this is the first boundary condition and this is the second boundary condition. Now we have to apply these two boundary conditions on that Schrodinger equation, right? So by applying first boundary condition, right? So first boundary condition, by applying first boundary condition. So what is the first boundary condition? Psi of x is 0 at x is equal to 0, right? So we are applying this condition on equation number 3. On this equation we are applying, right? So means x we have to put 0 and also psi of x is also 0, right? Now the equation 3 becomes psi of 0, psi of x 0, that's why psi of x is 0, right? Also you can write, by applying first boundary condition, psi of 0, by applying first boundary condition on equation 3, we get 0 is equal to a sin kx, x is 0, 0 plus b cos kx, 0, right? And this term become 0 because sin 0 is 0, cos 0 is 1. So from this you will get b is equal to 0. So this is the result we are getting by applying first boundary condition, right? Now we have again, now we will apply second boundary condition, that is psi is 0 at x is equal to L, and also we have to apply b is equal to 0 also, right? Now by applying second boundary condition, by applying second boundary condition on equation 3. So what is the second boundary condition? Psi is 0 at x is equal to L. So now we are applying second boundary condition, right? So by applying second boundary condition, what on equation 3, what we get? 0 is equal to a sin kl plus b is equal to 0, right? So we are taking b is equal to 0. There you will get a sin kl is equal to 0. From this we will get a is arbitrary constant, so we cannot take it as a 0, right? So a is not equal to 0. So obviously sin kl is equal to 0. Sin kl is equal to 0. From this we get kl is equal to sin inverse of 0. At what values of 0 will get? Sin n pi, sin 0, sin pi, sin 2 pi, sin 3 pi, sin n pi is 0. So we will get kl is equal to n pi. From this we will get k is equal to n pi by L. So this is the result we are getting by applying second boundary condition, right? So by applying first boundary condition, we get b is equal to 0 by applying first boundary condition. By applying second boundary condition, we are getting k is equal to n pi by L. Now these two results we have to substitute on general equation. What is the general equation? So the general equation is psi of x is equal to a sin kx plus b cos kx, right? Now we will substitute these two results on this equation, right? So by applying those two results, we will get psi of x is equal to a sin k, x means instead of k we can substitute n pi x by L, and b is 0, obviously the second term become 0, right? So this is the result, this is the solution of that second order differential equation, that is d square psi by dx square plus k square k square psi by k square psi is equal to 0, right? This is the solution of that Schrodinger equation, right? So this is also called the wave function of the particle. You can also call the wave function of the particle. The wave function of the particle which is moving in a one-dimensional box. Which is moving in a one-dimensional box, right? Now again in this, one more thing we have to calculate, that is a value. A is arbitrary constant, right? We have to derive the value for the value of arbitrary constant A. The value of the arbitrary constant A, the value of A can be obtained by applying normalization condition. By applying normalization condition, right? So what is the Max Born normalization condition? Already we discussed, right? So the Max Born normalization condition is integral of mod psi square into dx is equal to 1. So this is the normalization condition. Now we will apply this normalization condition to get the value of A, right? So how we will solve that one? So we know that psi is equal to, so here mod psi square. So what is meant by mod psi square? Mod psi square means product of psi into psi star. Psi into psi star. So what is psi value? Psi is equal to, already we know that, A sin n pi x by L. Now what is psi star? The value of psi star n pi x by L. Now what is psi star? Psi star is equal to, psi star means the complex conjugate of the wave function, right? So where the psi star is equal to A, same value will get n pi sin n pi x by L, because here there is no imaginary term. If there is imaginary term, we have to add minus sign, but here there is no imaginary term. So psi and psi star both will be the equal, right? So mod psi square means is equal to psi into psi star. Now we have to multiply psi into psi star. So by multiplying psi into psi star, or by solving the integration, we get, so integral, lower limit is 0. So the dimensions of the box is from 0 to L, right? So the lower limit is 0 and the upper limit of the integration will be the L. Now mod psi square means A square sin square n pi x by L into dx is equal to 1, right? So now we will solve this integration. Now here sin square theta is there, right? So this part we will consider as a sin square theta, right? So sin square theta can be written as, sin square theta can be written as 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2. Here theta means n pi x by L, right? So now we will solve this integration, right? So by solving the integration, we get, that is integral. So here a square is a constant. So we will write a square outside the integration, and again 0 to L, integral 0 to L, and instead of sin square theta, what we can write? 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2, right? So we can write 1 minus cos 2 theta value means n pi x by L by 2 into dx is equal to 1, right? So now we will solve this integration, right? So we can write this equation as a square. We will separate that. We'll divide that part. Now we will solve this integration, right? So now we can write the above equation as integral 0 to L 1 by 2 into dx, right, again, and this can be written as a square by 2 integral 0 to L cos 2n pi x by L into dx is equal to 1, right. So now you can see here this part, right. So in this part integral cos 2n pi x by L is there, right. Suppose this is cos 2 theta, this one is a cos 2 theta, right. So by solving this you will get sin theta, right. So you will get sin 2n pi x by L, sin 2n pi is, again you will get 0, sin n pi is 0, sin 2 pi is 0, right. So this part you are going to get 0 if you solve this integration, and by solving the integration you will get this part as a 0, right. So no need to solve the integration, directly you can write by solving the integration the part of the value of this part will be the 0, right. So directly you can write a square by 2 into L is equal to 1. So how we will get this one again, right. Now we can write this equation as a square by 2 into x 0 to L is equal to 1, right. So by simplifying this one we get a square by 2 into L is equal to 1 we get, right. So from this we get what we need the value of a. So a is equal to root 2 by L. The value of a is equal to root 2 by L. Now we have to substitute this a value in our wave function, right. So what is our function, wave function? So that is psi of x is equal to a sin n pi x by L. Now we substitute the a value here, right. So by substituting this, we are substituting this a value here. So by substituting a value we will get the wave function psi of x is equal to root 2 by L sin n pi x by L, right. So this is the required equation, required equation for the solution of a particle which is moving in a one-dimensional box. So here psi of x is a wave function of that particle which is moving in a one-dimensional box, right. Now next what we have to derive? Next we have to calculate the allowed energy levels of the particle which is moving in a one-dimensional box. So we can easily get the allowed energy level values. Initially what we consider, in the beginning we consider the k square as a, we consider k square is equal to 8 pi square m e by h square. Yes, I think in equation 2 we consider this k square, right. Now we will simplify this equation. E is equal to h square k square by 8 pi square m. 8 pi square m. Now here k is called as a wave number. K is called as a wave number and the value of k is equal to 2 pi by lambda. Now substitute the k value here. Now we have to substitute k value. The value of k is equal to now we have to substitute k value. The value of k, we know that k is equal to n pi by L. Now substitute k square. So if k square is equal to n square pi square by L square, right. Now substitute this k value in the energy equation here. Here you have to substitute the k square value. So by substituting k square value we get E is equal to h square n square pi square by 8 pi square m L square, right. So you can get cancelled, pi square get cancelled. So you will get the allowed energy levels of the particle En is equal to n square h square by 8 m L square, right. So this is the required expression for the allowed allowed energy levels of a particle which is in a one-dimensional box, right? Where n is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on, right? Suppose if you substitute n is equal to 1, you will get E1 energy level. N equal to, you will get E2 energy level, right? So the energies from this, what we can understand, the energy levels of a particle in a one-dimensional box is quantized. It's not continuous. The energy of a particle in one-dimensional box is not continuous. It's a quantized E1 energy level, E2 energy levels we are getting. And also one more point we are getting here, there is no means here n is not equal to 0. So a particle certainly exhibits some energy, right? The energy of a particle can never be equal to 0. That energy is called as a 0 point energy, right? Now we can see here the wave function of a particle in different energy levels we can see here, right? So this is for E1 energy level, and the wave function of a particle in E1 energy level, the wave function of a particle in E2 energy level, right? So this is the wave of a particle which is moving in a one-dimensional box, right? And the probability of a particle at certain spot in a box is determined by, so mod psi square. What mod psi square is calculating? Mod psi square is the probability amplitude function. It will calculate the probability of a finding a particle at a given point, right? So the mod psi square can be represented like this, right? So in exam up to here you have to write if they given particle in a one-dimensional box. If they ask to write particle in one-dimensional box. Thank you. Hi students. So please subscribe our channel and support our channel. Thank you.